This just in, signs this guy can just relax? Because of the latest news on private sector jobs is right. The president stands to look pretty good in his own job, and soon. Here's why. The folks over at ADP say 188,000 more jobs were created last month. Again, those are private sector jobs, but they could signal a similar jump in the government's employment data on Friday when we get the latest read on all jobs. And if it's as good as ADP, maybe the president can kiss those sagging post-scandals poll numbers goodbye. To Rick Ungar and Benkie and Ron Meyer. Dee, what do you think?
No.
No.
No. Well, this is why. I mean, he's dug a hole as big as a Grand Canyon, and he's trying to jump out of it with a pogo stick. I mean, it's just, when you're in that much trouble, this report just isn't going to do enough. Plus, you got the scandals. And not only that, why is he spending $100 million in Africa? Boy, that helps with the jobs, doesn't it?
Well, you guys will not let go of the Africa.
No.
Okay, so,
Sorry.
Ron, what do you make of the fact that the backdrop for all these scandals is pretty good economic news? Now, that certainly, I think, saved Bill Clinton's bacon when he was dealing with a scandal. I do think that it made a bad situation even worse with Richard Nixon because the economy was anything but. So if the backdrop is not just dropping, then that could be positive for him, couldn't it?
It could be, but the problem is the reality just is not that. I mean, especially when you just look beyond the broad picture and look, especially what I like to focus on, and it's youth unemployment, because everyone ignores it. Right now, we have the highest structural youth unemployment since the Great Depression. Only 4 in 10 young Americans under 30 have full-time jobs. Half of recent college graduates are underemployed. And so when we look at this one report, yeah, it looks rosy, but I don't think jobs for this whole country, it's certainly not like the Clinton era, it's certainly not like the Reagan era. And when we look at this, I mean, I don't think that the president's home free. I think these scandals plus youth unemployment plus the economy as a whole, I mean, we're talking about still over 7.5% unemployment rate. That's not rosy at all.
Rick, what do you think?
I think some people just can't take good news for an answer. Like it or not, this was good economic news. Now, I have to tell you, if you think that this is what the president needs to solve scandal problems, you guys haven't gotten the memo. When was the last time you've heard anybody breathe the word Benghazi? Can we all agree, like it or not, it's over? Boom.
You know, I would
Check
normally
off that
say that, but when CNN decides belatedly to do a special, then I'm beginning to think, well, maybe it's not over. But leaving that aside, there are a host of other scandals that are out there.
Well, let me keep going, because so many people are watching CNN. Clearly, you're right. So that's number one. Number two, when was the last time you heard our friend Mr. Rosen discussed in the press, on TV,
So you
on
think
the radio?
all this is just frittering away?
Let's get to the IRS. That's what I was leading up to. IRS was your best shot. You had Darrell Issa trying to tie it to the president until he decided to say, I never said it had anything to do with the president. So you had that to begin it. Now, you know what's happening? It's fascinating. Now we're beginning to see maybe why they were targeting. We're seeing organizations that lied on their application, said they had nothing to do with politics the same day, and I mean the same day. They mailed the application. They uploaded an ad for a Republican senator. Other organizations that not only lied,
the same thing.
No, they didn't all, but here's what's fascinating.
Well, you sound like you're playing a minimum.
I think he's smoking something because the candles are still there.
That may be true.
Well, yeah.
But that aside,
what do you think of that? That bit by bit, all these scandals are going away, and that now we'll be left with an economy that's improving, housing's improving, the president's off to the races.
No way. I mean, it's still a scandal, not for long, a scandal-ridden president. But also, Neil, the big thing is the Obamacare. I mean, just today, the employer mandate, and that is affecting jobs, and that's why the pressure was on, because now the Democrats are afraid they're going to lose in the midterm.
Well, scandal or not, Ron Meyer, there is something to the president's declining poll numbers. We should also point out that Congresses are hardly robust. But having said that, the president continues to be slip-sliding in support, and now a majority of Americans seem to think that the administration is behind this IRS mess. That doesn't mean it is, but when the perception is out there, it's got to get ahead of it before it firmly gets there. So where is it going right now? Where is this administration going?
Well, I think the problem is, I mean, of course, the people on the left want to say there's no more scandals anymore. Everything's been answered. But behind every one of these, there's major questions. There's absolutely
don't pay attention. That's just Rick.
Sorry, I won't from here on out. I mean, the fact is, with Benghazi, we still don't know what the president was doing that night and why we didn't have help sent to them right away. With the IRS, we still don't know who ordered the targeting.
You think it still goes on? You, Rick, think it's done and over and life goes on?
It's not what I think. It's what it is. You
Not
tell
IRS,
me,
though.
well, you tell me. Well, we're talking about Benghazi right now.
Yeah,
When
you
was
want
the
to.
last
Transparency?
time you heard the word? I'm not saying right or wrong. I'm simply saying find me the word Benghazi in the media. And when was the last time you talked about it or saw it?
Nevertheless.
Nobody
or
wants
Brett
it.
Baer
No
doing
need,
a
we've got
special 48
IRS.
hours ago.
Admit it, Rick, IRS sticks. It's going to stick. It's going to
Well,
continue
actually,
to
I
stick.
thought it was
But
going to.
bottom line, the president
didn't.
might be saved a little bit by an economy that seems to be hanging in there. We shall see whether that saves his bacon. But for now, that's the deal. Happy 4th, everyone.